Right, Delta and the Bannerman, and the accent game is strong here.
It's the Welsh agenda.
Wales in England. That was a really good line.
And then when the man gave the directions of how to get there, he's like, I'm in Shangri-La.
Shangri-La. Wales.
In space.
That's so good. And I like the fact that Nick Cave at the end is from South Africa. I don't just kill you for money. This. No, South African in killer is. My accent game is not strong. But oh man, right. First of all, Delta and the Bannermen. I think this story has been around so long that we've forgotten the joke, which is of course that Delta and the Bannermen is a takeoff of sort of like Diana Ross and the Supremes and Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. That's true, and that's why it's called Delta and the Bannermen. I think, anyway. Listen, if you were a child of the 80s, this is so chock full of famous people. Don Henson, who's playing, is it Gavok or Gavrock? He was on everything, and flipping Ken Dodd's in this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ken Dodd is he's an absolute legend, an absolute hero of entertainment, and I can't watch this episode without thinking of my mate Paul. I hope one day I get introduced to my mate Paul. Could have done it when I went down to see the David Tennant one. Paul for years has gone, the rock and roll years, and it's one of Paul's things. So it kills me when he does that because it just reminds me of Paul. Anyway, right. It's true. The rock and Paul does it. He puts everything into it as well when he does it. It's so good. Right, anyway, this episode. Listen, I'm biased here, okay? And I'm sure there's an argument to be made to say this is like just the biggest mishmash of weirdness. But I love the mishmash of weirdness. When has Doctor Who been this weird before? And not weird in a Web Planet type way, because with the best one in the world, and we can celebrate the ambition of Web Planet and all this kind of thing. This is just, and this is this.
That was the chair squeaking.
Yeah, right.
Can you just move your thingy as well?
No, you're not. You're fine. When is this weird? This is such a weird mishmash of familiar and odd and sort of quirky and slightly out of memory. I mean, these sorts of holiday camps. Again, I've done. Did you do Butlins and things like that at any point? You didn't. I've done it at least once.
Never been to Butlins.
Oh, I've done it.
Centre Parks.
Well, this is a bit different to Centre Parks, isn't it? But there we go. But yeah. So, and there's just like so many characters just thrown at us, and I know all of them straight away. I mean, how weird is that? Is it because we're just nicking from all different programmes and ramming them together, which is a tried and tested Doctor Who trick, isn't it? We'll have this from a historical story and this from a sci-fi story, and let's ram them together and see what happens. You're obviously leaning into the fact, if you know, you know, Ken Dodd. This is just Ken Dodd on screen getting shot, which is shocking, by the way, because it's Ken flipping Dodd.
And now he's dead.
And now he's dead. Ken Dodd's dead. But this is just, for me, right, and there's like nostalgia on nostalgia and nostalgia here. What's he doing? There's
I'm just amusing myself over here.
Just listen to the wisdom. There's nostalgia on nostalgia on nostalgia, and it just, for me, it really, really works. What do fans of New Who think of this? To be honest, though, isn't this... Couldn't you make a case to say this is a bit, I don't know, Idiot's Lantern-y, which wasn't the most well-received episode? And then in the middle of it, let's not lose sight of our Doctor. Syl's just having a lovely time. Oh, I think it's this that's wrong. Oh, I've heard some stories that, I think she might be in trouble. Just so like that, the bit with the apple as well. Oh, what's all that about? Absolutely. Look, I know this is not the most erudite critical analysis of Delta and the Bannerman episode 1, but blow me, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. Please, if you're a newer fan than this wrinkly old hairy individual that you see in front of you, tell me what you think of this episode, because I love this episode so much. And I genuinely don't know what anybody I can't wait to read the critiques of it. Although, to be fair, most of the critiques I read are from people who look very similar to me, or not at all. But you know what I mean. You get the broad point I'm trying to make. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Bye-bye.